I don't want to write this paper. It takes way too much time. I hate my teacher. For those of you who have ever written a paper before, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I express this kind of emotion. You might have asked yourself, why do I have to write this paper? How is it going to be beneficial for me? Or is my teacher trying to take vengeance upon me for what they had to go through? Well, little do we know that writing skills can actually be a tool for success. And that is exactly what I want to talk to you about today. How we can realize success through our writing skills. Now you might ask, how can we be successful through our writing skills? Who believes in such a thing? Aren't verbal skills sufficient enough since they seem to be more expressive? Well, let's find out. Okay, you can't see it. Bad managers talk. Bad managers talk, good managers write. This was said by Walter Chen, who is the CEO and founder of VID00007, which is a blog that allows CEOs to successfully manage their business through writing skills. Chen knows that every businessman wants to be successful, but they need a means in order to reach that path. So for most of them, they choose writing skills for their tool for success. So Chen believes that good writing makes a good manager. But how can we verify Chen's statements? Who believes in such a thing? Well, let's take it from Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Ben Horowitz of Twitter, Andy Grove of Intel, and Phil Libin of Evernote. These are all successful businessmen who have stemmed their own careers based off Chen's beliefs and theories. So now that we've seen the secret behind these corporate leaders, what are the elements of success? Well, most corporate leaders attribute to three specific things: professionalism, trade experience, and intellectual knowledge. The first being professionalism. Now, under professionalism, there are three essential elements which can be found in a written paper. The first being communication and collaboration, which is a no-brainer because the purpose of every written media today is to communicate and collaborate a certain message or argument. Secondly, to respect through your choice of words, because not only does it not only does it increase the value of your information, but it also turns your paper from possibly being offensive to being encouraging. And thirdly, advocacy to the welfare of others, because a paper is simply written to encourage and to possibly defend your one's position. So now that we've seen professionalism, we see the second element of success, which is trade experience. And under trade experience, again, there are three essential elements which attribute to being successful through writing skills. The first being having a positive view and work ethic, because your attitude affects the attitudes of your fellow coworkers, and it could possibly affect your business production and proficiency. Secondly, having personal experience and having the confidence to give a presentation, because not only does it increase the value of your information being presented, but it also brings the level of your credibility to a more professional level. And finally, being able to connect to your audience through chosen words, because if you can have, your words can have intellectual meaning and clear thinking, your audience will be able to engage more with you and have more respect for you and for your paper. Now we finally see the last element of being successful, which is intellectual knowledge, which is demonstrated through a well-written paper. But you might ask, what is knowledge in the first place? Well, according to Jeff Bezos from Amazon, he says, there is no way to write a 6-page narratively structured memo and not have clear thinking. What does this mean? He says that written reports force the author to think more profoundly, ask more profound questions, and to reason using structure and logic. What does this mean? Well, under this, you have your three essential elements like you have in professionalism and trade experience, with the first being accuracy and relevance, in which the audience can engage more with you because the information that you are presenting is clear, interesting, and understandable. Secondly, logic and strategies. Just like Jeff Bezos said, the written reports force the author to be more profound and more clear in his explanations, which ultimately bring forth more powerful convictions in your paper and your words. And finally, your topic's credibility and authenticity are finally manifested through your words. The words of an author show his knowledge, his understanding, and his organization in his paper. And these all are important in order to become a master in your craft. So let's take a quick recap of what we saw. First, we saw professional skills. Then we saw trade experience. And now we have seen intellectual knowledge. When all three of these are combined, they can all be demonstrated by good writing skills, which are needed, could possibly be needed for a successful career. So the next time you are asked to write a paper, don't get frustrated. It's part of life. But think about it as, how can this be beneficial to me? How can I use this towards my successful career in the future? Thank you.